So I'm going to be doing a deeper dive on my new Blitzway Carbotix Mazinkaiser. And as was pointed out by some very helpful commenters, I was comparing it to, I said in my previous video that I was comparing it to CCS Toys. No, that was SkyX. This is CCS Toys. Now, this is my second take on this video because I totally screwed up. I recognized, and I thank, by the way, Jose and Anthony, I want to thank them both for pointing this out to me. But after making the video and to correct my error, I then started referring to this as the SkyX. I knew it was CCS, but I started referring to it as SkyX. And so I'm redoing it, trying to get it right. This is CCS. I'm not showing SkyX, not in this video. This is Carbotix for Blitzway. So you could see that there is a sizable difference. This one, the Blitzway one is about 12 1/4 without the wings. The CCS Toys is about 10.5 inches. The SkyX, which I'm not showing, is about 11.5 inches. So this is less than 2 inches taller, although in this video it looks like it's way bigger. It's not. It's not as accurate as you might think. But if this is pulled back a little bit, but yeah, it still looks very puny, but the size is not as pronounced as it looks. This one here is 2 pounds, 4.1 ounces. This one here is almost 3.5 pounds, or over 3.5 pounds. The SkyX is 2 pounds and 0.4 ounces. So the SkyX is slightly taller, but weighs a little bit less. So this is a dense figure. It's also clearly has a lot more flourishes on it. So I'm going to put this one aside, and we're going to focus just on the Blitzway figure, which is very neat. This is a beast. And so I'm going to be showing the gimmicks, but I'm not really going to be doing a whole lot because this figure is so heavy that I worry about toppling it or doing something else. So I'm not going to be really delving into actually showing a lot of the gimmicks other than just showing kind of what they do. Now, another commenter, David Leshin, pointed out, see, in my other video I said that the legs had no rocker on them, no ankle rocker. That is not true. They do have an ankle rocker. It's just really, really stiff. Every one of the joints on here is like industrial strength and stiff. I would rather stiff than loose. So that's not the worst thing in the world, is to have stiff joints. When the ankle rockers are moved and the feet lay flat, this is much more stable. I would trust this without a brace. It does not come with a brace. I thought in the video it did, particularly because it has under here, if you can see, there is a rectangular section in here. I thought that that was something where the brace would go into it. No, it does not come with a brace. And so I don't know if maybe there's a brace you can buy separately, or if maybe they thought about doing a brace but didn't end up doing it. So there's nothing in the instructions that says anything about that rectangular section in there. So we're going to go through the instructions real quick, and this is the first page, shows the die cast in there, and it is just filled with die cast. That is why it is so heavy. All the joints are die cast. And then here's all of the gimmicks that go with it, and it is in both Japanese and English, so that's very helpful. So in fact, the English comes on top. So let's go through real quick. First of all, a couple things. We have various hands, including a fully articulated hand, which also the CCS Toys has. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like fully articulated hands, but they're not the greatest at gripping like a sword or something, so they're more for fun. Now, you probably could grip a sword, but they have a sword hand also. So we have a larger sword. This is a big one. Okay. And then we have two, I'm only going to show one, two smaller swords, so he could have swords in both hands. Okay. And then it shows the pilder, how it inserts into the crown. We have a missile launching from the abdomen. Okay, so this opens up pretty easily. Okay, and then this missile, which clearly could not possibly fit in his abdomen. A trope of Japanese anime. So it could be attached in there and shooting out. I am not planning on posing it with the missile. All right. Then we have different effects related to, I guess, his turbo smasher punch effects related to that. So this would go under his fist, or where his fist would come out, to kind of show the, I guess, spiraling smoke as it comes out. And then this piece here would go like in the elbow area to show the sort of the blast as it comes out. Again, I don't plan on doing that. This piece here, I'm not going to remove it. It comes off, and then it can be replaced with the sword in the chest effect. And then we have, this is a little strange, we have these two shoulder things which can move around. And then a piece on here can be removed and then replaced with, this must be, I'm going to assume these are from the OVA, not the movie, because I watched the movie and I don't remember any of this stuff, so I don't think it's in there. So I think it's in the OVA, where it's like the swords are stuck in his shoulders. I don't remember. I watched it, but it was a while ago, so I don't remember it. Okay, and then we go through these Kaiser Scrander, which is the wings, and it's pretty nice. Okay, so this would go on the back. There is there's a rectangular section here, and then there's a part on here that swings up. It is super, super stiff. It is really, really hard to insert. There is a lot of movement on these wings. Okay, so you can pose them in different ways. You know, someday maybe when I have more space, you can also attach these to create even more drama. When I have more space, maybe I will attach the wings, because it would make this figure absolutely enormous, and my shelf will not fit that enormity. Okay, so the other thing is, if I bend this over, if I can, there we go. Okay, so in here, well, it would need to be bent a little bit more. Okay, so there's a screw hole in there. You unscrew that, and then you could do some light up effects. It requires some kind of specialized batteries. I mean, I'm sure the batteries I could buy at my grocery store, but I did not do that yet. What in the world? Okay. This is such a beast of a figure. So I'm not going to show the light up features. This will also move around a bit. These things here. So it does include light up features. And then the diorama, which I'm going to show in just a moment. Now it shows on here the light can be moved down. When I got a comment from David Leshin saying he could not get that. I actually did manage to get it. I don't know what the point is. So according to the instructions, it can pull down 3 millimeters. So I thought that this whole section would. It's just the leg part. So if you look in there, I can push it up a little bit. Again, I don't know what the point is. He becomes 3 millimeters taller, I guess. So, but the joints in here they are incredibly stiff with ratchet joints. So yeah, I keep saying this thing is a beast. Industrial strength, probably the figure most industrial strength I've ever come across. Now here's the diorama. This is supposed to represent the destroyed great General of Darkness. So it comes in pieces, and it's really cool. So I'm going to remove the head just to make it easier. And then you have like the shoulder pad here. So the way it works, you have an area here, and then this doesn't just pop in. It uses magnets, so it goes in, but it stays. So I don't know how people feel about it. I think it's pretty neat. You know, people may have a different view. And I know one of the commenters had said that if given a choice between the diorama and a brace, they would have preferred a brace. So I would have preferred both. You know, a lot of times I don't care about the gimmicks, but that one was not something I expected, but I really like it. So then it goes through a little bit more on just the joint. There are warnings all through here about being careful with this figure, particularly with scuffing the paint and or poking yourself. And I did experience that when I was picking it up one time. I had something else in my other hand. I picked it up, and my thumb went right up against that sharp point there. I was kind of holding it. I was like, ow! So I kind of had to move my hand. I couldn't like put it down because I had my hand, something else in my other hand. But yeah, it is a beast of a figure. So this is, I would say, of the 3 Mazinkaisers that I own, this has got to be the most impressive. This is over $400 for this figure. And you get a lot for what you pay for. Now, and also the one last thing I'll show is Blitzway gave out this, which is a certificate of authenticity. And then what you can do is there's a QR code to install the Hidden Tag app. And then using this, you can check to see if it's a genuine product. I will tell you this. If anyone made a bootleg of this figure and it wasn't completely obvious the moment you touch it that it's a fake, then kudos to them for creating like the world's greatest fake, because this thing is even a bootleg. I mean, unless you have no idea what the weight is, maybe, and you pick it up, it's like 1 pound rather than 3.5 pounds. But I don't think too many people are going to be fooled. So anyway, that is the Blitzway Carbotix Mazinkaiser, and this is more of a deep dive.